evening, everyone. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner, and this is a special edition of my For My Students video series. And this video response is going to go out to Michelle Guido, and I want to thank you in advance for letting me know how to properly pronounce your name, and to Roberto Blake. And as you can plainly see here, I got a lot of notes, so hang in there, folks, because I got a lot to say. Okay. Now, what is this regarding? Well, this is regarding the YouTube Partnership Program. That's what this is regarding. Now, I have placed hyperlinks down here in the description below. They are videos that Roberto Blake and Michelle Guido put out about the YouTube Partnership Program. And I would like for you guys to pause this video in just a second, watch their videos, and then return to mine so that I can continue my discussion. I can wait. Okay, let's go on here. Now, for the past 7 years, I've been a partner on YouTube, but that is coming to an end next month. The worst part is that it ends on February 20th, which happens to be my birthday. Okay. The good news is that I personally feel that I can get it back. I really do. And I will do anything in my power to reacquire it. But tonight's video, as I said previously, is going to go out to Michelle Guido and to Roberto Blake. Alright? Alright, now let's skip down a couple lines here. Okay, first of all, now that you've watched their videos, I agree with Mr. Blake and Mrs. Guido when they state that no one should panic about this situation. Okay? Sure, it's very disappointing to find out that all of your hard work appears to mean very little to YouTube. Now, I don't know whether it does appear very little to YouTube or not, but that's the kind of thing they're projecting to smaller YouTubers like myself. That's what we're getting out of this. Now, maybe I'm wrong, and I hope I am, but that's how it feels to me. So, let's go on here. But I will admit right off the bat that stress is not going to bring your partnership back. I can tell you that right off the bat. Okay? I also want to say to Mrs. Guido that I can empathize with your situation. After all, I'm going through the same thing you're going through right now. I currently have over 3,800 videos on my channel. Many of them exceed 15 minutes in length. Okay? The problem is that a lot of my viewers, they'll start watching my videos, but they won't watch the whole thing. And that's why I am lacking right now about 83,000 minutes to achieving their new threshold. I have to have 240,000 minutes to achieve their threshold. Obviously, I have enough subscribers, so that's not an issue here, okay? But I don't have enough watch time minutes, and that's why. Okay? The thing is that if they were saying lifetime watch time minutes, I'd have enough. But because it's within the past 12 months, I don't. At least not yet. I probably will after this video goes out, but we'll see. Okay? So, now as far as I'm concerned, and I may be wrong about this, but it seems to me that YouTube is notorious for not properly enforcing the rules on certain YouTube partners. These would be the bigger partners. And I agree that this has caused some advertisers to leave YouTube permanently. But this isn't the entire problem. I personally feel that YouTube has offered its partnership program to way too many people. I agree with you on that, Mrs. Guido. And if you want me to call you Michelle, just let me know and I'll do that. I probably won't in this video, but if I ever do another video response to you, I probably will if you say that it's okay. Alright. After all, I became a partner in 2011. At that time, as far as I know, you had to acquire 100,000 lifetime views. in order to get your partnership. It took me 2 years to acquire such a high number. Well, at that point, it made me feel special and accomplished. The best part is that I didn't have to apply for the partnership. They just sent me a letter and said, let's go. Yay. But then YouTube decided to offer their partnerships to practically everyone. Well, like you, Mrs. Guido, okay, I don't think they considered the fact that their money train would come to an abrupt end. And I'm like you, Mrs. Guido, when you say that it didn't feel so special anymore. It really didn't. I felt a bit betrayed, and I know you did too. So anyway, but thanks to a few bad apples, the YouTube money train apparently has come to an abrupt end. So it appears to me that YouTube has panicked themselves and brought their version of Marshall Dillon into Dodge to clean house. At first I applauded their efforts. Once again, my partnership felt special, okay? But then YouTube decided to turn its platform into their version of Disneyland. Suddenly I felt like sorry, I do tend to stutter, I do tend to stammer, so hang on. Suddenly I felt like Sylvester Stallone as he awoke from a cryo-freeze chamber in the movie Demolition Man. Did I want to live in Raymond Cocteau's world? Not really. I agree that when a person becomes accustomed to a certain lifestyle, they will do anything to maintain it. But leave it to a couple of bad apples to ruin it for everyone else. Basically put, when some of the advertisers left YouTube, YouTube quickly discovered that they couldn't afford to pay their creators as much as they used to pay them. It appears to me that YouTube became desperate to keep their more profitable YouTubers. So they made a decision to better distribute the few resources that they still had. Now, I agree with Mr. Blake that they had to do something. And I agreed with their decision to raise the bar on new YouTubers. Well, the first bar, that is. The second bar, not so much. The 1,000 subscribers did not bother me. In this day and age, it's not too hard to get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. However, the 240,000 minute thing, as I said before, if it had been 240,000 minutes over the lifetime of the channel, that wouldn't have been so bad. But in 12 months? Are you kidding? Now, did YouTube consider brand loyalty when they decided to terminate the partnership program for their current YouTube partners? I'm not so sure about that. I bet they're considering it now. I can understand why someone at this point would use an ad blocker while watching YouTube videos. In their minds, they are thinking, if YouTube is not going to be loyal to us, why should we be loyal to them? After all, they are still placing ads on our videos, but now they are getting all the money. That's not nice. I agree with Mr. Blake when he says that their decision could have been worse than it was. But I personally believe that it still wasn't right. I doubt that they thought about their reputation when they made their decision. They probably should have. In my opinion, I just don't think they thought about that. I bet they are now. Many people have decided not to enroll in the YouTube Red program due to this decision. And many others have decided to either cancel or refuse to participate in YouTube TV due to this crisis. I believe there are better ways they could have handled this situation. For one thing, they could take the time and carefully examine currently partnered channels. Now, they couldn't examine every single video of a currently partnered channel. But what they could do is this. They could say, well, does this channel have at least 20 videos on the air? If they do, then that might mean that they are actually active in the YouTube community. If they don't, cancel their partnership. I understand that. And then, if they do have 20 videos, then they should examine at least one or two of those videos right off the bat. Now, let me get this perfectly clear. I have nothing against let's play gameplay channels. I have nothing against them. However, if that's the only thing they're doing, then they can join a gaming channel network and not be officially a part of YouTube. Okay? So if they're a small YouTuber and all they're putting up is video game footage, those kind of partnerships I would cancel and say, why don't you go find a gaming network and then they can make arrangements to get you paid. See what I mean? That'd be much more fair. But if you guys are putting up original content like I'm doing, as people like us, they should have kept. Really. And especially with me having over 3,000 videos, mostly educational, there you go. I'm the kind of channel they should keep. Okay? Now, let's skip a little bit down here. Now, why did I say that some of these smaller YouTubers that are only uploading game footage, why should they have lost their partnership? Well, here's the thing. A person who is watching those kind of videos, they might watch the videos once or twice, but I seriously doubt they're going to watch it over and over again. Okay? And if they don't return to watch it periodically, then they may not stay subscribed to that particular channel. They may just leave permanently. Okay? And I seriously doubt that they would recommend those kind of videos to their friends because there are so many gaming channels on YouTube these days. What makes your channel more special than anybody else's? Do you see where I'm going with this? Okay. Now, okay. You have to admit that because there are so many video game Let's Play channels on YouTube these days, Let's Plays are not necessarily considered original content. Not unless you do something with it. See what I mean? Now, Mr. Blake was partially incorrect in saying that most, if not all, YouTubers who had less than 4,000 hours or 240,000 minutes of watch time earned just practically pennies on the dollar. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to go into exact statistics here, but I was earning at least $10 a month every month for the past year. A lot of those months I was earning even more than 10. I'm not going to tell you how much more than 10, but I was earning more than $10 a month. So that figure is not entirely correct. For some people that got like 100,000 watch time minutes, that might be true, but I was I was at 153,000 lifetime minutes, or not lifetime minutes, but I mean 153,000 minutes within 12 months. So you can plainly see I was getting more watch time and I was getting more commercials, all this other stuff. So yes, I was definitely making more money than pennies on the dollar. I can tell you that right now. As a matter of fact, well, let's just say I got more than one check from Google within the same year. And that's as far as I'm going to go saying that. I'm not going to say too much more on that. Okay? Now, there was something else that Mr. Blake actually said in his video that rang bells in my head. Right off the bat, it was like ting-tong. He said that January was a poor month for ad revenue on YouTube. This is usually corrected in February. Why is it corrected in February? Well, one of the biggest reasons is, well, what happens in February? Well, usually that's about the time when they start running the Super Bowl ads. See what I mean? So when do they start running the Super Bowl ads on YouTube? Well, between late January and early February, right around the time of the Super Bowl. So could YouTube think of a better time to discourage as many YouTubers as they can than the time just before those ads run? What does this say about YouTube's brand loyalty? Well, depends on who you ask. In my particular case, it doesn't say a whole heck of a lot. It just basically says, you know what? You aren't worth too much. See what I mean? I feel that Mr. Blake should have brought this up in his video and discussed it. Okay? Now, before I proceed, I want to say one thing, okay? The initial reason I came onto YouTube was to assist people facing eviction, starvation, and bullyism. Now, I'm going to tell a little story here. Just before I decided to become a YouTube personality, okay, I met with a young lady. She was about to become a freshman in high school. I was trying to explain the concepts of bit and byte to her, and I tried to use the illustration of an on-off switch. She could not comprehend how an on-off switch worked. It's really simple. You flip it on, you flip it off. Okay? That's how it works. But she couldn't grasp that concept, so there you go. Now then, I want to say that I myself have personally faced eviction, starvation, and bullyism. Now, granted, I never was evicted, but I came close, more than once. And starvation, I've never really starved, but I came close. You don't have to necessarily starve to come close to starving. I can tell you that. And have I faced bullyism? You betcha I have. So, I know what those kind of things are like. I've had personal experience with all three, so yes. I have thoroughly enjoyed being on here the past 7 years, providing a means to get out of those kind of situations through education. The kind of education you are not getting in most high schools and colleges today. Okay? Now, I definitely do not want to see anyone go through the kind of adversity that I personally have gone through within my lifetime. So, that's the primary reason why I've been here. Alright? Now, there is one other thing you guys need to know. A lot of you already do, but I'm going to go ahead and say this anyway. I work in retail. People facing eviction, starvation, and bullyism do not make good customers. I can tell you that right now. They are in such a bad mood that it's hard to sell anything to them. Okay? So, when they prosper, when they get out of those situations, they make better customers. So to benefit them is also to benefit me at the same time. So it's definitely within my best interest to relieve their situation. Okay? Alright. But people have to realize that the kind of books that I buy on a regular basis, such as this, these things ain't cheap. They really aren't. And the time I spend studying books like this so I can make these presentations on YouTube, well, that costs me. I could be at a second job right now. Literally. I could have 2 incomes right now. But I chose to come here instead to help you guys out and to live, I wouldn't call it like in squalor, because that's not really accurate, but sometimes, on some days, it kind of feels that way to me, even though it's not really that way. Okay, so, you know, you don't have to have it literally that way. It could be figuratively that way, and sometimes I do feel like I'm living in squalor, even though I'm not. I just feel that way sometimes. You can feel something even though you're not going through it. See what I mean? So, I've chosen a less luxurious lifestyle in order to be here with you guys. So, I'm also sad to say that even though retail is, it can be great at times, it can have its problems, certainly, but it can be great at times as well. It doesn't necessarily cover the costs of books like this. I mean, yes, I do earn a decent income, but, you know, saving up for books like this can be pretty hard, especially on one income. You see what I mean? So if you combine the price of the books that I have to buy and the time lost because of this, well, you kind of get in the picture of one of the reasons why I came here. You know, I want a little compensation for this. Now, I'm not a greedy snake. I'm not coming here to try to get every single dollar I can get out of you guys. But it does relieve the pressure a little bit when I get stuff like this. And the more I get, the more I give. That's the way it works. I don't mind sharing the pie. I really don't. But I need a little of it myself. You see what I mean? So I wouldn't want you guys to think that I'm some kind of greedy snake, because that's just not true. But, you know, the time lost in the books, it adds up, people. It really does. Okay. Now, some larger YouTubers are telling smaller YouTubers that they aren't working hard enough. Well, they haven't realized that YouTube has already raised the bar twice on the partnership program. What's to stop them from raising the bar again? What will happen to them if and when YouTube raises the bar one more time? I would love to see their response to that. And keep in mind that small YouTubers who hear such nonsense from larger YouTubers may decide to unsubscribe from these larger YouTubers. Well, there goes their revenue. Remember, they don't watch the videos. Those larger YouTubers don't get the revenue. They could watch their view counts go down whole 9 yards. Now, to be fair, I totally agree with Mr. Blake when he says that YouTube ad revenue should not be a person's only source of revenue. I agree with that. After all, as we saw in 2017, YouTube ad revenue appears to be rather fickle. And I personally think that YouTube has definitely displayed their version of brand loyalty. I seem to have gotten the message. But affiliate programs may not be the best way to go for everyone. For some people, that's a very good way to go. Others, maybe not so much. And I'll give you a good reason as to why. Alright? Now, follow along with me. Now, I'm going to give you a surprise, people. This is the first time I've ever said this on air. For a brief period of time, I was given the chance, the opportunity, to work for Avon. That's right. I'm talking about the Avon Beauty Company. So you're like, wait, how was I able to do this? Well, let me explain. Avon came out with a line of men's skincare products. They wanted a man to sell these products to other men, so I volunteered. I needed the money anyway at the time. I was transitioning from one job to another. There you go. But I quickly discovered that the men weren't interested in buying skincare products from Avon. And could I sell beauty products to women? Well, yeah. But one of the things I found out was that there was a lot of competition. And I mean a lot of competition. Yeah, that's where I had some of the problems, okay? So, it wasn't the fact that I was a guy and I was selling cosmetic products to women, or to ladies, okay? Whichever you prefer. It was the fact that there was so much competition. I couldn't compete with that. So I'm thinking to myself, do we turn all these small YouTubers into vicious competitors? Maybe not such a great idea. Alright? Like I said, for some people. Okay, but there is yet another problem. Let's examine my particular current situation. I care for an elderly parent. No, my parents are not totally incapacitated. But they do need assistance from time to time. And this does take up part of my time. See what I mean? Now, of course, I also work full-time. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to pay my bills at all. And I'm not in the best of health. Again, no. For those ding-dongs that keep coming to my channel, I want to say this once and for all. I am not constantly in the hospital. Okay? I'm not buying up a ton of life insurance. Getting the picture here? But I do have to admit that right now, Chuck Norris is in better physical health than I am. Okay? I'm not incapacitated. I'm not in the hospital all the time. But I do have some medical problems. They're more aggravating than crippling. Okay? Now, people also have to consider that I study constantly. I think you've seen that. I simply don't have time to really massively participate in an affiliate program unless you guys have suggestions on that. You know, if you have some better time management, hey, I'm all ears. But The thing is, I don't want to get involved in an affiliate program that's going to put extra demands on what little time I have. Quite frankly, at this point, I can't post a video every single day. It's just not possible. And you also have to keep in mind that I'm a bachelor. I'm not married to anybody. I don't have a maid and a butler working for me right now. Do I really need to say any more? Now, I know I'm not the only YouTuber out there facing this particular situation, so I can understand why they wouldn't necessarily want to participate in an affiliate program. In the past, I actually have participated in affiliate programs, but I didn't do too well. And yes, I've also participated in those online surveys. They got the information, and I got diddly squat. So, are there other solutions for YouTubers in this kind of a situation? Yes, there are, and I'm going to go through them. Okay? Now, first of all, let me explain something. In the Midwest, social media has a very significant meaning. It may not mean the same thing to everybody else, but here in the Midwest, it has a very significant meaning. If you walk up to anyone from the Midwest and ask them a decent and innocuous question, they will give you a decent or innocuous answer. They would consider a person who doesn't answer a decent or innocuous question a rude person. And they would probably never speak to that person again. And very few Midwestern people want to be thought of as being rude. So how can someone increase their watch time and their subscriber base? I agree with Mr. Blake that you shouldn't use a sub-for-sub community like a crutch. Why is that? Oh, sure, members of these clubs will subscribe to your channel as you subscribe to theirs, but later on they will unsubscribe to you. Let me say that again. But later on, they may unsubscribe from your channel, and they may not tell you that. So you're still subscribed to them, but they're not subscribed to you anymore. And they're not helping you. They're not watching your videos. They're not doing anything for you. So there goes your watch time. Now, if you need a few subscribers to cross a particular threshold, like the 1,000 subscriber threshold, say you have 995 subscribers and you just need 5 more, go to these sub-for-sub communities. That's great. Now, one other reason you should go over there is because if you find somebody that wants subs, you can actually make a video response to them, and I'll get into that a little bit later. And then if they reply to that, then you could sub to them. That's a good idea. But otherwise, I wouldn't rely on them. It's just simply not worth it. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your effort. So, anyway. What else can you do? You can actually go onto Twitter. Talk to everybody. Be their friend. Listen to them. Empathize. Sympathize with them. Get to know them and let them get to know you. And then after a while, when they start following you, just one a day. Take one of your videos every day. Post a hyperlink to it on Twitter. Not on their feed, but on your feed. And then if they see it on your feed, they may actually come to your channel. They may subscribe to you. They may watch your videos. Another thing you do is on your profile page, on your Twitter profile page, put a hyperlink to your channel. If they're interested, they'll take a look at it. Very good idea. Okay. Another strategy I found to be very effective is to post a lot of video responses. I told you I'd get back to this. Real YouTubers will upload response videos to the videos you upload. If you upload a video response like I'm doing right now, most likely a real YouTuber will get on the air and they will answer your questions. If you don't believe me, you can check out Crazy Josh Cravey. I can't tell you how many times he has video response back to me once I video response to him. And it has grown both of our channels. And it's been great. The communication's fantastic. I'm thrilled to have him on board. Okay? Now, if you do a video response to another channel, most likely they will watch your video and not only respond back to you, but they may actually subscribe and watch some of your other videos. There you go. Alright. I also recommend writing and publishing Kindle books. You can recommend your Kindle books on some or even all of your videos. And the thing is, the Kindle books, unlike YouTube, is not as restrictive on the content that you can actually place in your books. So you can be a lot freer to express yourself in a Kindle book than you can be on YouTube, at least right now. Okay? Now I said in a previous video that you shouldn't publish a Kindle book for free. I'll tell you why. I answered a YouTuber who said you should feel a sense of accomplishment just because you publish a Kindle book. What I got out of the whole thing, what it appeared to me, was that you shouldn't worry about acquiring any money. Personally, what I think is that what she was doing was trying to eliminate her competition. Well, shoot, if you're not interested in making any money, I'll make all the money myself. Great way to get rid of your competition, huh? I didn't buy into it. Okay? As a matter of fact, I have now published 4 Kindle books, 3 of which have been profitable. Not extremely profitable, but profitable nonetheless. And if you want to know where these books are, let me know and I'll tell you. Okay? Now, I hear the same kind of talk from many YouTubers today about uploading videos to YouTube. I would like to see these YouTubers walk up to a farmer here in the Midwest and say, oh, go ahead and plant your crops in the ground. Don't worry if the crops never grow. Don't worry if you're unable to sell your crops. You watch how fast that farmer will escort you off their property. Think about it. Of course the farmer wants people to benefit from his food. But he would go broke if he allowed people to eat his crops without asking for some compensation for his work. Give me a break. And besides, what if you really accomplished by publishing your book to Amazon if no one ever buys it and reads it? I could keep a journal right here on my nightstand and write in it every night and place it on my nightstand. If no one ever reads it, I've accomplished nothing. Except maybe have a few memories later on in life. That's about it. Really. So another idea that Mr. Blake proposed was to create a podcast. I am interested in what you have to say about podcasts. I'd love to hear that. I'd love to hear how you would set something like that up and how that would get paid for. So, I would hope that Mr. Blake will do a video, even a video response if he wants to, but just a flat-out video to tell us how podcasts work and what we'd have to do to set one up. I'd love to do that. Okay? Now, another thing is, if you own a Patreon, I think you can load up an audio file to Patreon and then charge people $1 or $2 to actually hear a Patreon audio of you saying something. I'd also like to see some method, and I'm sure Mr. Blake knows how to do this, to make like an unpublished video on YouTube and then place the hyperlink on Patreon, and if you wanted to particularly watch that particular video, you'd have to pay to see that hyperlink, and that hyperlink wouldn't get spread around, that kind of thing. So if he could show the connection between YouTube and Patreon, I'd love to see that. But the best strategy at this point for a lot of you is to watch my educational videos. I teach people how to remember lots of things. There's a whole playlist called the Memory Playlist that will show you how to remember lots of things. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ask. I also teach computer tech, high-end mathematics, and how to speak, read, and write in the Italian language. If you acquire these skills, you will be a better conversationalist. Plus, you can use these new skills to apply for scholarships. This could lead you to free college education. And that free college education can lead you to a higher paying job. And keep in mind that if you learn these new skills, you can communicate with a broader audience, and that can increase ratings. And while we're on the subject, I would also add closed captioning to all of your videos. There are a lot of people who watch these YouTube videos that are hearing impaired, and they would love to watch your videos if you just closed caption them. And if you know sign language, use sign language. Very beneficial to the hearing impaired. Now, one of the biggest questions I'm asked from time to time is why I have such low resolution videos. Well, I'll explain that. First of all, I use an old Kodak EasyShare camera. I can't afford anything else. Not really. I did get forced into a smartphone this year, but still, I would much rather use my Kodak EasyShare than that. Okay? Now, second, it takes a lot of time to process a video in high resolution, that 1080p. That takes a lot of time. I'm not kidding you. And yes, I could technically go do other things, but it does take a lot of time. It also heats up your computer. And that can damage your computer over time. So, low-resolution videos do a lot less damage to a computer than high-resolution videos. So, I don't want to cause that much damage to a very nice computer that I have. It's the only one I have, and I can't afford to just go suddenly running out and buying another one. See what I mean? Now, the next reason is that even though I've got some of the best internet in this area, the upload speeds are not that great. I can tell you that right now. Comcast just simply doesn't provide that great of upload speeds yet. They're working on it. One day maybe they'll get there, but they're not there yet. So there you go. So I really have better things to do with my time than to stand there and upload and have it take so long to upload onto YouTube a big 1080p video. See what I mean? Now, I agree with Mr. Blake when he says that people are unlikely to watch videos where you just talk about your personal life. That's because probably your life isn't that exciting right now. But this could change if you do what I tell you to do in this video. When this current YouTube crisis started, I tried to tweet as many people about it as possible to try to help them and to try to help me at the same time. I even offered my assistance. Only 2 people outside of you, Mrs. Guido, only 2 other people wanted my assistance. So that tells me that a lot of them out there just aren't that serious about this. That's sad and that's disappointing, but anyway. So, it shows me that a lot of people want to complain about YouTube's new rules, but they don't want to do anything about it. And that's the difference. And that's really a shame. But if you know more people that want assistance, I am more than happy to help them. As a matter of fact, I am personally opening up my Facebook fan page. I have a hyperlink down here to my Facebook fan page. You put videos on there, I will review them for you guys. Literally, I will do a video response to you. You just pop the video on my fan page, and I'll do it. No questions asked. I want to help you, and I'll do everything I can to do just that. Now, I think the final thing I will say in this video is that I will assist anyone who wants to be a YouTube partner. I will do anything I can to help you. As I said, you post a video to my fan page, I will review it for you. Because I don't think YouTube's being fair about this. Now, just make sure that it's not some kind of a funky Let's Play or some kind of a copyrighted material. I don't do stuff like that. But if it's original content, I will do it. If you're going to put the effort into it, I'm going to help you. Test me and find out. Okay? Now, if you post a video that actually belongs to somebody else, I'll help them, not you. So make sure it's a video that comes from you. Alright? Now, if you enter that particular video into my Video Response Wars contest, okay? I have a Video Response Wars contest I do every week. If you enter it in, I will give you a like, I will give you a shout out, and I will give you a comment all at the same time. I couldn't be more generous. So, please participate. Now, if you want to sub for me, you want to put some original content on your channel. If it's just a Let's Play, I'm not going to do a sub for you. But if you put some original content on there, I'll do it. I don't subscribe to just any channel. I want to see you're going to put some effort into this. If you're going to put some effort into it, I'm there for you. And I will definitely help you grow. You have my word on that. Alright. Well, I want to thank you very much for watching this presentation. I know it was rather lengthy, but I appreciate you enduring all this and doing all this. Mrs. Guido, I will do a separate video response to you on another video that I was watching. And yes, I did watch your video about that affiliate program. If you can find a better way to time manage that, I would be interested in what you had to say. So maybe you could kind of work with me on that. And Mr. Blake, if you want to help me on that, that's fine too. I'd rather actually do podcasts and then do Patreon on top of that. But anything you guys can do to help me, that'd be great. In the meantime, if you're out there crazy Josh Cravey, I thank you for watching this video. I will be doing a video response to you really soon, so hang in there. Thank you all for watching this. Learn what you can from me, and the more you learn from me, the more I'm going to do for you. Alright, I'm sorry I had to speak so quickly. My time is almost up on my video, so anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching this video, for enduring everything. I will definitely tell, oh, and anybody else that I said I was going to do a video response to, the notes are already ready. I will do that tomorrow. Okay? I will actually start posting those up tomorrow. And I will do another For My Students video tomorrow as well. Alright, lots of stuff coming up. I'm not going to waste any more time. Thank you very much for watching. I will tell you, everybody, a bunch of brand new stuff and brand new videos starting tomorrow. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and by all means, stay tuned.